Hey guys, welcome. Okay, so let's finish the event
現場は
because
そのまま慌て
it'll
ず
be
避難してく
ending
ださい。
soon. Although I am done with the past, I've got everything there. I'm still not yet done with this one? No, I'm done with this. The Explore. Oh, wait just a minute. Activate all signs. All is reversed and linked by one. Oh, there we go. After leaving the temple, I came across a monk leaning on a cane. What? He was carrying a basket of white flowers for reasons I couldn't quite explain. I found myself pulling out the portrait. The monk gently set the flowers down, taking in their fragrance. A quiet calm settled over us. Have you seen the woman in this picture? He shook his head, his eyes empty and distant. Only then did I realize he was blind. I'm sorry. Yet as he turned towards me with a serene smile, something seemed to catch his attention. Have you already met her? It's this guy. it's the handsome looking NPC. Let me just. Who do you mean? Her, the little wandering ghost. The monk's gaze seemed to drift into the past, and for a moment he appeared lost in thought. My master told me that I must confess my sins to 1,000 people. It was my path to redemption, he said. You happen to be the 1,000. I wonder, will you hear my story? I hesitated, caught off guard by the weight of his words. Yet, feeling the sincerity of his plea, I found it hard to refuse. Taking my silence to consent, the monk began to speak. I was once a portrait artist known for painting the likeness of women. Oh, was this the guy who painted the this was probably the painter, but what truly brought me fame was not my skill with a brush, but my eyes. You see, ever since I was a child, I longed to be an artist, but fate, it seemed, had cursed me with a gift I did not want. As I aged, my sight steadily faded away. Still, I refused to give up on my dream. In my youth, I memorized the world's colors as best as I could. When I grew older and my vision failed me, I learned to paint by touching my subjects' faces. It wasn't long before people said I could capture not only their faces, but their very souls. But the truth is, I never saw any souls. In the blurry world I inhabited, there was only the faint glow of light and shadow. Some faces felt kind, easy to portray with gentle features, while others were fierce, casting shadows that unsettled the spirit. Perhaps losing my physical sight only heightened my sensitivity to the intentions of those around me. There were times I dealt with demanding clients, those who didn't want the truth on the canvas, but preferred a beautiful lie. Before I took up the ropes, I encountered two particularly memorable clients. One of them was my wife. This was the painter. She was known for her beauty, or so people said. That day, as I sketched her face, I felt something strange, a calm, quiet honesty beneath her powdered exterior. It took me a long time to finish the portrait, and she sat there silently watching me. For reasons I didn't understand, I found myself stripping away the layers of makeup in my head. Layers of makeup in my head. Yeah. So it's I wasn't mistaken. It's his head. I discarded the false mask shaped by worldly desires, leaving behind a face of pure simplicity. When I finally finished, her tears fell into my hand. She looked at me, and though I couldn't see her face clearly in that moment, I felt truly the other client. I can't recall her face, but I remember the mark near her eye. It was an unusual mark, so faint that you'd never even feel it there just by touching it. It was a tiny crescent-shaped scar near the corner of her eye. While painting her, I doubted my instincts many times. I kept sensing a different face beneath the skin and bone, a hidden identity. It was the first time I've ever felt that way. The lines my fingers traced and the image forming in my mind, they didn't match. It was as if I was drawing two faces at once. In the end, I trusted my intuition and painted the woman I saw in my head. Even the crescent scar, I added it after much hesitation. I thought it was a failure. I couldn't even bring myself to accept payment for the work. But when she saw the portrait, I felt a wave of emotion from her, the same raw feeling I'd sensed from my wife. As if on cue, my wife walked by just then. In the instant, a sense of danger gripped me, like I was about to lose her forever. I hurriedly blocked her path with my cane, but she just touched my forehead, reassuring me that the client had left. That was the last time I saw her. After that, she vanished without a trace. The tavern folks said a fire had taken her life. I believe my wife said it was a punishment, retribution for my sins. And so I took up the robe and cane, choosing to live out my days in atonement. Oh, so the other client, the woman with the mark, with the crescent mark, probably took his wife, killed his wife, and then took his wife's form, probably. I've wandered this world for a long time and recently happened to stop here because I encountered a small ghost. The first time I saw her, she seemed so tiny, and as a breeze swept by, a white flower appeared at my feet. It felt like she, much like myself, was waiting for someone who would never return. Your wife, did she have a mole by her eye? Yes, sir. Have you seen her? I have, but perhaps what I saw wasn't really her. Yeah, it was probably. That was probably it.
さあ、私と共に戦ってくれ。目覚める時が来た。
罪人よ、天罰が下る時だ。我々が来たからには心配はいりません。
引き届けた。
必ず世界を守り抜きます。
裂いてくれる。
次は必ず仕返しする。
共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
引かない。次は必ず仕返しする。
まだ夢から目覚めていない。
私には守りたいもんがあるからね。自業自得よ。
神々は天井に君臨し、地獄に落ちる。
の。
我々が来たからには心配はいりません。
All clues collected. Come take a look. Drag the words to the crypt for the hidden location. The green grass glistens in the rain. Red flowers bloom by the pond. Right. The green grass. Okay, so it's here. The monk's wife had a teardrop mole at the corner of her eye, yet the scar on Jinsei's younger sister's eye was different, a crescent-shaped mark. It feels as if the piece of fire is starting to fall into place. The culprit made a pact with the dream gas, killed her own sister as a child, and took on her identity. Then upon reaching adulthood, she succumbed to jealousy and orchestrated the death of the woman in the tavern, even leading the enforcer to set her ablaze. The deal with the dream gas allowed her to vanish into the crowd, becoming just another face in the sea. It should have been an unsolvable case. The monk said he traveled far and wide, and fate led him here to meet the girl. It was this chance encounter that caused him to linger, giving the violet enforcer the opportunity to uncover the truth. Desire creates lies, but love breathes life into the truth. So sometimes what really led us to the truth are the secrets hidden deep within the heart. So the monk is probably already dead, because as far as I know about this, everyone they've met seems to be like ghosts. Yes, that is also what I'm concerned about. The fifth clue. Oh, that's right. There is still one more that we can go. Let's first crack the puzzle. Activate all signs. All is in order and linked by 3. There we go.
目覚めよ。時は来た。
どうした？また誰かに迷惑をかけたのか？
I got a new one. This guy. The cook.
飯の時間だ。早く席に着け。 現場はそのまま慌てて避難してください。
This is actually
必
very
ず世界を守り抜きます。
切り裂いてくれる。
共に窮地を乗り越えます輝ける
君みたいなやつにもう二度と会いたくないな。
早急に型をつける。耐えて優勢を作らねば。
瓦解。はっ、一丁上がり。
照らしなさい。
Although I haven't
我
actually
々が
given
来た
him
から
any
には
souls or
心配はいりませ
anything.
ん。
Okay, the last one. This is probably the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is the woman then. One that would she could be someone else. Give me the Oh, so he truly was the wife, and he probably ran away from the painter. So who was the client? Because remember, the monk said that he painted two people. One was his wife, which is this woman, and then there was another client, the one with the crescent eye, which is also her. I am getting confused now. The artist's wife. Ah, no. So she was the client. Wait, I am getting confused because she said here. Oh, I see. So the wife is different from this. I see. So this was the client. You know why moths fly to dreams? The enforcer? That artist loved his wife? What? Didn't know what our parents did. collection of portraits of different women. Each one had a distinct expression, but all were strikingly beautiful. It was like a gallery of dazzling light. So you were the mysterious informant. Maybe it's because of my lives. In my final days, I longed for someone to see through my lies, to cut through the fog of deception that had shrouded my... Her eyes became hollow and I rushed forward to check her. Her thong was stained with dark purplish marks, a clear sign of poisoning. It seemed to spread like vines from head to toe. The cherry branch cast gentle shadows over her, as if she were a child who had fallen asleep under a tree from playing. I had taken from the young girl into her hand. On that day, her sister let go of her hand, and at that moment, the old lady before me lost one who truly loved her forever. Suddenly, my gaze was drawn to the cherry tree outside. It was so beautiful that I couldn't resist picking up a cherry and putting it in my mouth. The taste was just like life itself, bittersweet and tart, and then it hit me. My body froze. I couldn't move as darkness closed in. The last thing I tasted was a cherry's flavor lingering in my throat. That was probably the poison. As I stepped outside, it was dusk. The evening light beat its bright red charm. So I picked one and popped in the mouth, savoring the familiar tartness. The weather was dry and the roots. Tree was breaking the earth. I scattered some oil over them, thinking of the cherry tree in my backyard. The twilight glow wrapped around the tree, comforting souls beneath it. The tree was thriving, and soon it would be harvest time again. Like, I am a little bit confused now. Drag the words. The place is the arena is a good place for people to settle scores. Yeah, there we go. Why the arena? What? But I am confused. Why have we been led to the arena? He vanished after that. In the last file, there was one visual detail that struck me a particular ad. He described the cherries as having a familiar tartness. Most of the cherries in Yuma City came from the farms outside the city, usually selected varieties. It's unlikely he would have used the word familiar to describe his first taste of the wild cherries. What do you mean? Perhaps that old lady in her final moments resorted to her old tricks. About 2 years ago, the archives in the office weren't under such strict oversight. The Violet enforcer in charge organized and cataloged everything himself. Rather than theft, I think it's more likely that this file was never archived in the Violet from the start. Why do you say that? The Violet is heavily guarded. What kind of person would specifically come to steal a file? That old lady assumed the enforcer's identity, handed the file to the office, registered it, and then casually took it back. Yeah, so the tart, that's the one thing I am convinced. The cherry blossom that the enforcer took was probably poisoned. And then that lady who was said to have died probably was the Dreamcast and took his form. The Violets, the enforcers. She left these clues to guide those who might later uncover the truth of this story. But why would she want to lead us to the truth? Just as she said, she spent her life impersonating others, so perhaps she wanted her own life to be seen. But that's mere speculation. The evidence support this theory lies far outside the city. You mean the cherry tree? Indeed. Coincidentally, I've already sent someone to investigate. That place was bought over a year ago by a wealthy merchant in the city, and the entire farm was transformed into a polo field. There may not be a single remnant left, let alone the cherry trees. Hearing this, Feiyan let out a sigh and closed the file in his hands. Dreamcast had a point. Human love is indeed a perplexing thing, as are those emotions within us that can be controlled or fully understood. People constantly take from one another. which is why clear boundaries are needed to prevent and change these occurrences. But no matter how deep the feelings of those involved, the moment one crossed the line, the mistake had already been made. Punishing mistakes and solving problems is what we as enforcers of the Violet are meant to do. But the clues stop here. How are we supposed to continue the investigation? I believe it hasn't ended yet. Fengyan lifted the file. Through the dim light, a peculiar insignia marked with a leopard badge emerged from the file. What's this? It's the leopard badge. Every leopard badge has only one owner. Every enforcer's essence is recorded within the Violet. That badge remains with the suspect, a clue left to us by that Violet enforcer at the cost of his life. No matter where she runs, we'll find her and bring her to justice. Oh, so that woman is still alive. That old woman is actually still alive and still impersonating people. That is so crazy. Okay, so I guess that's the end. Oh. Okay, so that's the end of this event. I guess I got everything.
うるさいぞ。
Okay, so let's see. What else can we buy from here? This one? This one, of course. Jade, this one. Oh, it got 139. Okay. Realm cards. Souls. I sort of need this. Oh. I got Sasano. The Mama. I got Lord Arakawa. Taishakuten. Let's go again. Oh, wait. I've already got 27 Min Reiki. Oh, this one I haven't got this one, Mikatsu too. Oh, another one. 28. Okay, so before I end this, let's go and find some illustrations because the illustrations are
私たちのつながりを阻む者などもういません。
which one do we get? This one. Okay, let's get this one too. And this one. And that's it, I guess. Oh, poor kid. That was him, by the way. This is him. Okay. And that's it. Gosh. I bought a lot. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. What do we have here?
天命といえど変えられぬものではない。
Wait. What's this? I still haven't gotten this
も
one.
う汚いな。
真実の月の輝きを見せよう。
掃除のことならこの赤なめにお任せを。
Yep,
なん
so
か恥ず
that's
か
it.
しい。
See you guys in the next video.